Okay, here we go. All right, back again. Let's see, you got Marcus Bell in the building. Lolita, what's going on? She said she's listening on the sly. All right, there you go. That's how you're supposed to do it. You know, just get it in however you can. But yeah, man, we back. Or see, we already got like 8-9 people in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live stream. Fight night is tomorrow. You know, we got this PFL card, and yeah, we got some good names on here. You know, we got some good names. So I wanted to go back and talk about these fights here. And should I do picks for them? Yeah, let's go ahead and do some picks for them. That's why we come here, right? Got to do some picks here and just kind of talk about what I think is going to happen here. So, yeah, we got PFL to talk about. 2B's what's going on. Got that to talk about. And what else? We also talk about Joanna in the ranking system. You know, I put up a little poll, and of course, we had the majority say that Joanna needs to be out of the rankings. So let's talk about that. You know, we still got some people that think she don't. They think she deserves her spot. So we'll see. We'll see. What else? Let's talk about Weili a little bit. I mean, you know, I've just been looking at her IG, and she's been looking the part. You know, she looks like she's being, she's more so focused. She's being the fighter that, you know, Henry Cejudo is trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? He's trying to not necessarily change her, but just, I think, kind of break that American ice on her. You know what I mean? Like some people, include myself, think, you know, Zhang Weili just needs to kind of break that surface and get more used to being around Americans. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to help her understand how, you know, she has to fight here. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a lot of tactics used when you're coming over from wherever overseas to the U.S., you know. There's a lot more to it than just martial arts now. But yeah, man, let's see. PFL starts tomorrow. Let's go ahead and pull the card up here. PFL, the main card starts tomorrow on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus at 8 p.m., which means that the prelim card might start at what, 6? Hold on, let's pull it up. I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing up. We can kind of go through it. Also got another video coming too. I was going to talk about what Dana White said about Kayla Harrison, you know, staying in the PFL. And I mean, I'm not going to go into it now, but I have to say I agree with him. I mean, he has different reasons, of course, but I mean, hey, Brian Williams, what's up? So let's see here. Dang, Clarissa's getting it in though, man. She has a MMA match in a couple of days. Then in December, she has a boxing match. So yeah, she's going to be busy. Clarissa is going to be busy. And in 2021, she had 4 fights, 2 MMA and 2 boxing. So then she has Savannah Marshall to worry about too. So I'm like, wow, man, you got to give her a lot of credit. Savannah Marshall's not a joke either, man. So I'll talk about her in like another stream one day. You know, Savannah Marshall's a dangerous fighter, man. Hold on, let's see. Preliminary card. Yeah, I got to get the time for this prelim card because, you know, Julia Budd and Caitlin Young, they're the second fight on the card. Let's see. Oh, 4:30. Yeah, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. The prelim start. So yeah, it's an early one. It's an early one. Yeah, Marcus, I understand. Yeah, Dana definitely wants his money worth. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pay somebody this much money and not get he doesn't even want to break even. He wants to get more back. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just expect that I can pay you this big amount of money, but you're not bringing in the fans to back it up. You know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from there. I mean, let's be real. So there's two levels to it. You know, there's the money, you know, the attraction, and of course, the level of competition, which she's not ready for, right? Okay, so here we go. Yeah, the prelims start tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. First fight is going to be, of course, Julia Budd and Caitlin Young. Shout out to the Striking Viking. Yeah, man, I think it's a good move for Julia Budd. First off, I got to say that, you know, because I think she's already done all she could at Bellator. You know, she's already tried to make that move the title shots, and, you know, defend her title, and we saw how that went. I didn't really think she was going to try to get a rematch with Chris Cyborg anytime soon, so she probably said, look, I got to go where the money is and where I can not necessarily go where I have to cut so much weight now. Because, you know, Julia Budd is not a small girl. You know, she's not small, so 155 I think is going to suit her here. But against somebody like, she's about 5'8", and, you know, she's doing about 155 pounds against Caitlin Young. Let's see, who is 5'9". I always forget Caitlin Young is that tall, man. Like, you know, these are big girls. You know, these are big girls. These are big lightweights. So I think this move up is definitely going to help Julia Budd pack more power. You know, Young, she has decent pop, but she also just has very, very good punch selection and kick selection. You know, her striking is solid. So it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I think for Caitlin Young, she's got to control the tie clinches here. You know, got to control those tie clinches. She has to be, you know, always keeping this fight, always be first. She always has to be in the center of the octagon here. You know, I want to see Caitlin just pop jabs off, use those leg kicks, and work Julia Budd's body. You know, I think Julia Budd, her gas tank is okay, but I think, you know, with the right amount of body shots and you take her into deep waters, you can kind of gas her out a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the muscle. Maybe. Tell me, Marcus, what do you think? Like, is Julia Budd gas tank on point? Like, does she gas out to you? Like, I don't. I'm kind of up and down with it. Like, she never really, like, totally gassed out, but I think that with that muscle that she carries, you know, she can be, she can be carried in deep waters till she kind of gasses. I mean, I think that's just me. But definitely got to be a fight where Caitlin controls the stand-up, you know, inside and out. You know, the tie clinches, you know, I think her striking is way better than Julia Budd's. I think Julia Budd has more well-roundedness to her, where you're going to try to see her use her jiu-jitsu and get this fight down to the ground, which is dangerous for Caitlin. You know, Caitlin can't be caught on her back in this fight. She's got to control it. You know, she's got to be quicker on her feet here. And her takedown defense has to be on point. Like, her takedown defense was decent in that. It was one of her fights. I had to go back. Let me see. Not the Toya Walker fight, because she mostly controlled the stand up there. It was Cindy Danois. Well, Cindy got her down a couple times in that fight. Yes, Cindy Danois got her down a couple times in that fight. But I think overall, you know, Caitlin was controlling with the right hands in the range. You know, so gonna be very, very dangerous, man. If she lets Julia Budd get her to the ground in that top position. Sharp, man. She has to be sharp on her feet here. Yeah, Marcus said wrestling's going to be an issue for Caitlin. Right. I think so, too. I think Caitlin Young, you know, she's definitely, hands down, a better striker. Better striker than all these fighters in PFL, but it just comes down to having that Joanna takedown defense. You know, that's another art, like we said, right? she needs some type of technique where she's always, just scrambling and keeping this fight standing and making them pay when they try to get on the inside on her. I'm going with Caitlin though. I think Caitlin, her stand up, I think she can at least get 2 rounds in this fight, because I can see Julia Budd starting fast, maybe in the first round, and trying to press, trying to maybe box with her, and that's where Caitlin gets it. But when she sees she's getting outstruck, she's going to try to take that first round with a ground attack. But it's on Caitlin to control that second and third, because I think Caitlin is more consistent. I think Julia Budd, maybe like, man, that second or third, she'll kind of start, not fade, but the pace will slow down. So she has to pick it up on Caitlin's side. And I think she can, man. I think she has the striking and combinations and takedown defense to hold off in that second or third. So I can see Julia Budd winning the first round, but I'm going to go with Caitlin in this one. I think she can take it by unanimous decision. For real. Let's see, because, yeah, man, like I said, there's going to be some hard punches thrown in this fight. I know that, because since Caitlin Young's been putting on the muscle here at lightweight, and Julia Budd's already like a muscle head, there's going to be some bangers thrown here. We got, like I said, Caitlin Young, 5'9". Let me see her reach advantage here. You know what? I don't even call it a reach advantage anymore. I just call it reach difference, because, like I said, if fighters don't know how to use it, I ain't going to call it that. But Caitlin knows how to use it. 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. So, some long, straight jabs down the pipe. Julia Budd is 5'8" with a 69. So, it's even. It's even. It's going to have to be who's first and who's faster. And I'm going to go with Caitlin here, man. I think she's been here at this weight a little bit longer. And I think she has the style. As long as she stays away from the wrestling and the clinch game, man. Because I can see Julia Budd also just trying to press it to the cage just for the stalemate to avoid getting hit. So you gotta factor that in. If she gets those clinch controls, I won't say it'll be a wrap, but Caitlin will fall behind. All right, so yeah, I'm going with Caitlin Young though. I'm going with Caitlin Young by decision. Let's see. Stamina said, what's going on, Stamina? Savage, Joanna, who? Morgan said wrestling, yeah, it's going to be a problem for sure. Joseph Hannibal said Kayla will do good. Dana speaking out of his, Kayla will do good at 145 in UFC. I think after one fight in UFC, she'll fight Amanda. I believe 100% she'll win. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, she could win that one fight in the UFC, but she's not beating Amanda off of one fight. I don't see that. I don't even know if it would be like entertaining. I think that I think Nunes has it all the way. Nunes is gonna, just land the bigger punches, and you might see Nunes take her to the ground and just neutralize her and give her the beating she's never had before. I mean, let's just be real. Like, there's a big talent gap between these two. There's a big talent gap between Kayla and Nunes, 11-0. Who's on that 11-0 resume? Nunes resume. Check her resume. Who's on that resume? Win or loss, everybody on there is a better opponent than anybody Kayla Harrison's faced. No knock to Kayla. She just hasn't had anybody to fight or give her a test, Kayla Harris could beat Holly. Juliana Pena. I don't know if Kayla Harris could beat Holly Holm. I don't know if she could beat Holly Holm. I could see Juliana Pena. I don't know. That'd be close. But you got to think they're 135ers too. I mean, Holly can be a featherweight, but I'm going to have to go with Holly here. I think Holly has the style and the athleticism, and she has the strength to deal with Kayla. GDR, She's got the striking and the power. Her takedown defense is getting better, and her ground game is getting better. So GDR at 145 and Holly Holm at 145, I can see them beating Kayla Harrison. Let GDR land one right hand, and the fight's going to change. But overall, she could beat them, but Nunes definitely wins, in my opinion. Nunes definitely wins, in my opinion. All right, so who do y'all got? I mean, are y'all watching this fight? Y'all got Julia Budd, or Caitlin? Just put it in the comment section. Who do y'all got? Julia Budd or Caitlin? Y'all always asking me. I want to ask y'all, who do y'all got in this fight? All right. Because I'm jumping to Claressa here. Claressa Shields, hardest, what is the word? She's definitely the hardest worker in combat sports when it comes to women right now, man. She's boxing and doing this MMA thing, man. So that's real, man. Come on. I got to give her credit. 2 boxing matches and 2 MMA matches in 2021, man. Yeah. Let's see here. So, yeah, Claressa in her second fight in MMA in the PFL. She's taking on Abigail Montes. You know, I covered one of Abigail Montez's fights before. What was that organization? I can't even remember. Hold on. I covered one of those fights. What was it? Abigail Montes, because she's 2-0. They're not the co-main event, but they are on the main card. Abigail Montes is 2-0. Claressa's 1-0, sorry. Yeah, she's 2-0. Claressa's 1-0. Yeah, Icon. And she got a stoppage victory in that fight. Let me see. What weight was she fighting at, too? Because that plays a big factor, especially dealing with, you know, somebody that's big as Claressa, but Claressa's still fast, too. I think... Yeah, I remember covering this fight. Yeah, Abigail Montes, her last fight was at featherweight, you know, and she did some pretty good work on with her hands. You know, she's a good boxer, good striker. You know, she pretty much just broke her opponent down till she got her to the ground. Really wasn't like anything fancy with groundwork. After that, she eventually, you know, just stopped her with some ground and pound, you know. And I think this is an ideal opponent for Claressa, you know, for both fighters. You know, they're both undefeated. Both are in the same position right now. And to me, this is a good level of experience for Claressa. It's not too much, not too little. It's just right because they're in the same boat. You know, whereas Brittany Elkin, yes, she got the stoppage, but that was a tough one because Brittany Elkin had the ground game, right? She had the ground game all day long for Claressa. But she just didn't have that dog in her to take it any further, you know. So this is more of the fight I'd want to see Claressa in here. Somebody who's 2-0, stand-up fighter, and has some size to her. But let's see, Abigail Montes, she stands at 5'4", 69-inch reach. You know, that's a long reach for somebody 5'4". You know, that's a decent reach. But she's 5'4". You know, that height's more like a flyweight or a flyweight or a bantamweight. I know Claressa's like what, 5'8". But they got her listed with a 68-inch reach. I didn't know Abigail Montez's reach is longer. 4 inches shorter, but her reach is longer. But it all comes down how you can use it. So Claressa's definitely got the height and size advantage here. And I think this will be more of a stand-up fight here. And I think I could see Abigail Montes trying to surprise her and get her to the ground. But Claressa, she's been making a note that she's been working on the ground game. She's trying to get better at it. You know, she's been trying to step it up. And I think that's still yet to be seen, though. You know, it's going to be yet to be seen here. You know, I think Claressa, her kicks and her punches have definitely been getting sharper over to the striking department, you know, trying to abandon the boxing habits. You know, you can definitely see the improvement in her training. So I think she's definitely got the speed advantage. Not only she's got the height, size advantage, she's gonna have the speed advantage. And you know, also the boxing IQ will come into play a little bit. So Abigail Montes, she's gonna have her hands full here. You know, she is gonna have to make this a dog fight. You know, you can't be on the outside with Clarissa when she's throwing them high kicks. You know, Clarissa's kicks look powerful though. I ain't gonna lie, you know, they look powerful. Like when she was using Brittany Oken to the legs and to the side in her first fight, you know, she was looking strong. So for somebody like Abigail Montes, shorter, gonna have to make it an inside fight and a ground fight. I'm just looking at this article here. Abigail Montes, she's kind of going in on how she can beat Clarissa. She sees herself beating her though. Let me pull this thing up. All right. Marcus said he got Bud. Savage got Bud. Yeah, I got Young. I gotta go with my girl Young. Gotta go with Striking Viking, man. Savage said if Holly stands across the octagon from Kayla, she gonna treat her like Ronda 2.0. Yeah, basically. I mean, Joseph said he maybe got Julia Budd. Not sure about the opponent. As for Clarissa, I think she takes the fight. Opponent against Clarissa, never heard of her opponent. I think Clarissa's boxing knowledge was used. Striking, hopefully better takedown defense. Okay. Yeah, Abigail Montes, if you haven't heard of her, she trains out of Lobo with Alexa Grasso, Alejandra Lara, Irene Aldana, Karina Rodriguez. She's from that camp. You know, she's kind of like the prospect in that camp, but, you know, she's surrounded by good boxers all day and good MMA fighters all day, you know, so you check out her Instagram. I mean, yeah, you'll see her. She's on the come up, you know, so I've seen her 2 fights, you know, good hands. She's tough, but all around, I think Clarissa's a little bit smarter when it comes to what she's taking in. Not saying Abigail's not, but I think Clarissa's really showing some growth here, man. So yeah, let's see. Abigail said she's seen Clarissa's debut. Obviously, her boxing is top level and it's explosive and strong. But there's many holes. Translating boxing to MMA is completely different. Adapting that to MMA is difficult because you have patterns from your entire life and you can't change that overnight. It takes time. I'm telling you, I saw a lot of holes that I can take advantage of and use to get my win. So yeah, she's right that boxing, you know what? It's harder for boxers to transition to MMA than it is wrestlers transition to MMA because the boxing stance, like she said, the boxing habits and how you throw punches, how you turn them over, it's not completely out the door, but it's just almost like a different discipline and science that when it's in MMA, it's not going to work because your footwork, your balance is in a different position. You know, boxing is in a position for throwing hands, period. That's it. You know, it doesn't change. You don't have to be in any type of in and out position where you have to get ready to throw a knee, check a leg kick. Hang on one second. All right, let's see here. So yeah, I think the difference between the stance in boxing is just completely different than an MMA striker. That's what makes it harder for them to transition over. But a wrestler, man, like it seems like wrestlers, they transition so much better. Wrestlers, grapplers, they transition so much better in the MMA because that's what it is. That's a big part of it. Because a lot of these wrestlers that can't throw hands, they are going to go straight to take you down. So you have to be in that position to always be prepared to be taken to the ground or, catching kicks, So it all comes down to the balance and to the stance to me. That's what it comes down to. And I think she is right about that, about breaking those habits. But I think she's not too far ahead of Claressa where Claressa can't catch up. She's 2-0. I know that Claressa's 1-0, but Claressa's still, I think she's still taking this in. And from what I've seen with her kicks and her striking, I think it's not going to take her long to get it, because she's still young and her mind is willing to accept these differences, So, yeah, there's a lot of holes there, like she said, but can she take advantage of them? That's the question. That's the big question. So she said, look, I knew of her. I followed her career. I knew that she had just made the jump to MMA. At first, I was taken away by the offer, but I never doubted on taking the fight because I saw it as an opportunity. I was taken away and excited, but it was like, wow, just my third fight, I can fight someone that I follow and admire. Things happen for a reason. An opportunity doesn't come twice, so she's taking the fight. Okay, so she said, I visualize the moment of victory. Often I foresee a potential ground and pound or submission victory. Okay, so she thinks she can. That's on her mind, is to get this fight to the ground. Can she do it? It's possible. It's possible what she's been working on. As long as she's not trying to go in there with the mindset of trying to box Claressa or strike with her, I think that she could get on the inside and make it a different type of fight for Claressa, So it's just a matter of being able to execute. Because I know she says she sees the holes, but it's going to come down to seeing if she can execute that. Can she? I don't know. I think Claressa just has... Claressa's dealing with a fighter that she's 4 inches taller. And I think she has the ability to keep this fight standing. Because Claressa's working on a ground game here, but I think Claressa really wants to make this a standing fight. She's really going to want to... She's not going to want to test the ground game yet, I don't think. She's going to want to fight a good rangy fight. And that would be smart. I could see her using the jab here, using her leg kicks. I give her the speed advantage over Abigail Montes. I think Abigail is a little bit more of a brawler. She's going to be going for that clinch to get it to the ground. So it's on Claressa to, throw them head kicks, throw those low kicks, switch it up, and control from the outside, man. So with that, hold on. Mark said, so what's the PFL odds? I might put a little on both underdogs. What are the odds? Let me see. Now I got to pull it up later. I can pull this stuff up. Joseph said Claressa was smart. She chose PFL. They let fighters grow. UFC probably would give her the Sharks. PFL is very sport-like, so understand her choice. Also, she can box still. Yeah, I agree. PFL is good for Claressa. I think an even lower organization would have been better for her, though. Because I think for Kayla, it's a little different. I think Kayla's in there with fighters that are either on her level or she's above their level. Claressa being 1-0, there's still going to be a lot of dangerous fights out there for her. But this level of fighter that they brought in is what she needs, As long as they bring in fighters that are just budding like her, like Abigail Montes and so on, I think she's in a better position. So, yeah, like PFL, they are going to give her fights that she needs to grow. If it was a UFC, man, she'd be in there with killers already. So, let me see. Where are those PFL odds? But if I had to pick in this fight, I'm going to go with Claressa. I'm going to go with Claressa Shields by a stoppage or decision as well. I think she'll keep it standing. There might be some moments where Abigail presses her to the cage and tries to ease her down. I don't see her like bum rushing and taking her fully down. I mean, in this picture here, they almost look the same height, don't they? They almost look like they're the same height. I wonder if it's because Claressa's hunching down, but they got her listed at 5'4". And Clarissa's kind of looking at her eye to eye. I don't know, man. What's up with that? I mean, they're putting the wrong heights up here or something. Hang on. Let's see. Abigail Montes is 5'4". Yeah, she's 5'4". Maybe it's because Clarissa's hunching down. That's all. PFL odds. Well, Taylor Godardo, she's a plus 1300 underdog. You gonna put some money on that? I mean, hey, you make some nice little bank off of her. And Caitlin Young is a plus 360 underdog. And Abigail Montes is plus 260. You might make some money if you put on Taylor Godardo, though. You know, that'd be the big upset, right? Yeah, you get some bank off of that. Bet on her. Yeah, I'm going to go with Clarissa in this one. I think Clarissa is going to win this one. I think her striking is going to be too much at times. And you're going to see more of the kickboxer in her in this fight. You know, you're going to see more of her transition into a striker than a boxer. I think she wants to kind of showcase that. Look, she can break that habit. She can throw those kicks. And, I don't know. Don't be surprised if she tries to take it to the ground once or twice. You know, this might be one of those fights where she tries to do that. I wouldn't advise it. I mean, because that's where everybody's looking to take her and then look for that submission. So, but if you want to do it on this level, right? At 1-0, you want to test your ground game now before it gets too tough, I guess. So, yeah, I'm going with Clarissa here. Decision or stoppage. If it's a stoppage, maybe third round. What do y'all got? All right. Kayla Harrison and Taylor Godardo. Dang, Taylor Godardo is 3-1, and Kayla Harrison is 11-0. Right. This is when resumes do matter. I mean, for real, like the 11-0 against Nunes, that doesn't mean anything. Like Kayla Harrison's 11-0 is not the same as Nunes' resume, but this one here just shows you that there's a dominant level to Kayla when she's in the PFL. What can Taylor Godardo do to pull off this upset, though? I mean, there's the size difference alone right there. I mean, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach is Taylor Godardo. Kayla's 5'8", 66-inch reach. Definitely not really a striker at all. You know, I think she's trying to work on her hands, but that's not what it is when it comes down to Kayla Harrison. Was Kayla, it's just her pressure and that size and that strength, man. Then when she gets you down to the ground, you know, her jiu-jitsu is getting much better. Her judo is just too much for some of these girls that just don't have the ability to stop her takedowns. You know, it's going to take somebody with great takedown defense and somebody with almost just as strong but also smarter than Kayla Harrison, and knows how to use their size and IQ and use her size against her, man. Kayla, I'm looking at something I was reading earlier here with Taylor, because she was talking about what she was going to do. And I'm kind of curious as to what she thinks she can do. Hold on. Because, you know, Taylor Godardo is very, very ground-based. You know, her fights have been very strong on the ground. She's been dominating with her jiu-jitsu on the ground. But if you go back and look at her fight against Laura Sanchez didn't have any she didn't really have any threats for Taylor Godardo on the ground. You know, she was more of a Muay Thai striker, tall, long striker that she just mauled on the ground. Then you look at Marina Moraes. That was a bit of a close fight, close striking match. Helena Kolesnik, Helena Kolesnik. Another one of those fighters where she was in there with somebody that didn't have much of a ground game. So it all comes down to these two fighters with, good takedown attacks, very good ground game. They seem to beat all the strikers. So it's going to come down to who's the bigger and stronger ground fighter here. That's what it's going to come down to. And that looks like Kayla Harrison. So I don't know, man. I there's not much I can say. Like, she's going to have to be a good striker in this fight, but I don't know if she has that type of hands because, the minute Taylor Gallardo starts to try to get into that rhythm, she's going to go in for that takedown. And like most of these fighters, they all just tend to crumble, man. Hold on, where is it? There's an interview I was watching with her. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, she says she can back up everything. She can back up everything that she said so far, but when it comes down to it, anyone can lose and everyone's beatable. I'm in the finals for a reason. I 100% believe that I'm the person who is going to beat her. She said, my coaches, they drilled into me, hey, you have to know how good you really are. You have to stop doubting yourself. You made it to the finals. They were like, you've won. You clearly won all your fights. You need to start believing in yourself. I don't know what switched after this last fight, but my confidence is pretty high. And I think the work we've already been putting in and the work we're going to do, the work we're going to put in for this camp is going to has her having a good head on her shoulders. Okay. So yeah, hopefully, her team is really, really pushing her and they've got some type of game plan here. I mean, like, there's just really hard moments here, to try and figure out what a fighter's going to do and what these fighters in PFL actually possess to beat a fighter like Kayla Harrison. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she has that type of striking to disrupt Kayla Harrison or that type of strength to disrupt Kayla's takedowns. She's just so strong. Kayla probably comes in at like 170 sometimes when not sometimes, all the time. You see how jacked she looks when she's in there? She makes 155, but by the time she gets in there, another 15, 20 pounds is on, and boom, she's just massive. And not a lot of these women have dealt with other women like this. So it's really tough, man. Like, I could say Gallardo has the jab and move and try to break her opponent down, but does she have that type of striking to do that? Because that's what she needs. She can't go to the ground with Kayla. This has to be a standing fight. Or if it goes to the ground, she has to be quick here, with her transitions here, to get top control. I think Kayla's been a lot more effective, and she's been so much more improving in her top position. Like, if she's in your guard, she knows how to use her elbows and knows how to control with her head now. She does have that advantage. And she has that strength to go from your guard to transition to a half guard and eventually get that top mount. So she's dangerous on top. Kayla, you can't be on your back against her. Joseph said he has Clarissa by stoppage. Decision. He's got Kayla by sub. Mark said he's going to take both underdogs. Okay. Joseph has Julia Budd by decision. I guess I'm the only one picking Caitlin Young here. But let's be real. My pick in this fight, I got to go I got to go with Kayla Harrison. I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison by submission. First round. Yeah, first round. Like, no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, it just seems like her dominance seems to really get to these women. And let's be real. Like, it just seems like it's scripted for the win, man. I'm just being real, man. It's just weird like that, because I still think it was weird how Pacheco, looking at her most deadliest, had to pull out of this thing. You know, how did Pacheco miss weight this time? That's what really pissed me off. I was like, Pacheco, this was the best she ever looked. She was knocking girls out. Then all of a sudden she misses weight in her chance to fight Kayla Harrison in the third fight. Come on. That just seemed weird to me. I'm just saying. But I think Kayla Harrison, you know, she's got that dominance factor I'm always talking about. She has the size, the athleticism that Taylor Gallardo hasn't seen before. And she has the experience. You know, out of her 11 fights, you know, she's taken some big girls down, some experienced girls down. And she's just too strong, I think, for Taylor Gallardo when it comes down to it. I think when it comes down to the ground game, I think that's what type of fight it's going to be. And it's going to favor the bigger, stronger judoka in this fight, which is Kayla Harrison. So I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison by first round submission here, or first round stoppage. What do y'all think? It's going to be in the first round, I think. If it goes to the second, I'll be like, yo, that's respect to you, Taylor. You know, if you can get it there, pull off the upset, hey, I'm for it. But prove me wrong, you know. Prove me wrong, that means you did something right. That's what I always say. Savage guys, Harrison by stoppage. Mark said Kayla's complacency is going to catch up with her at some point. It will, and I don't know if it's going to be now, but it definitely will, yeah. Mark said, in the Silva Yawn fight tonight, let me see. I don't know. Let me see. What time is it? It ain't time yet, is it? What weight is this fight going to be at anyway? Week 9, right? This is week 9 contender. I guess it's going to be a 125. They got it listed at flyweight. So we got Kareem Silva versus, was that Ki Hu Yan? I'm guessing it's going to be a flyweight because they got the main card at 125. So, yeah. Silva's going to have to move down, I guess. Normally a bantamweight, but yeah, she's moving down. Yeah, they got it listed at flyweight. Ki Hu Yan versus Kareem Silva. I'm going to go with Yan in this one. What time does it start? Oh, it's already 8 p.m., right? Oh, let me pull up the fight. Should I pull up the fight? I mean, I'm not going to pull it up for y'all to see, but I might pull it up on my phone while I talk to y'all. Let's go ahead and get this atmosphere going while I'm talking MMA. I'm going to have a fight playing in the background. Let's see. Yeah, because it started at 8 p.m., so it's almost time for that third fight. Hold on here. But yeah, I'm going with Kayla Harrison by submission here. Okay, it's still the first fight. Oliver Murad and Bing Ji. Dang, Silva is jacked though, man. She's moving down to 125. She is huge. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna just go with Ki Hu Yan in this fight. It all depends on what her ground game looks like too, because I don't know, like, if she hasn't fought like a high level of fighters here, like, don't know if she's gonna be able to handle Silva either. Joseph said if Kayla gets first loss, it's gonna be UFC or Bellator. Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely gonna be in one of those organizations when she gets a loss for sure. So yeah, those are my picks for this PFL card, y'all. Let's see. What else we gonna talk about real quick? Because now I want to watch this fight. So yeah, y'all see the rankings now. Joanna's been taken out. Joanna is officially out of the rankings, and she gave her reaction. Let me see, where is her reaction? So with Joanna out the rankings now, everybody bumps up a space. Now. Like I said, we were talking about the rankings not the past couple weeks, but like maybe a week and a half now. And the reason like I haven't really like posted a video about the rankings because like it was still like the UFC would not officially post these rankings. Like they were still having like 2 number 15s, 3 number 15s. I was like, huh? 2 14s. I was like, what 2 number 5s? It seemed like there was just like a mess going on. Like Manon Fiorot posted her ranking, but under it was Casey O'Neill number 15, Miranda number 15. Sometimes it would say Miranda's number 15, Casey. I was like, what is going on? So anyways, they posted it back up and they fixed it, cleaned it up. Everybody's bumped up a space at strawweight. And Felice Herrig is still there. Felice Herrig is still in there. How long has she been in there now? Hold on. Let's take a look. How long has she been inactive? Because I'm not going to lie, like, I was complaining about Joanna because she was asking for a title shot. And she was so high up. But if you want to make the argument, Felice deserves to be out too. Let's see. Yeah, because Felice hasn't fought since August of 2020. So her situation has only been a year and 2 months. So subtract, so 6 months short, so there's a 6 month difference between Felice Herrig. So, okay, Felice Herrig can stay, but maybe not in the top 15. I don't know how she bumps up a spot. Maybe she could be 16 or 17. Like, that's fine, but she shouldn't be bumped up to number 14. I mean, come on. But yeah, like I said, Joanna's the one that, like I said, needed to be taken out just because of inactivity. 20 months. It's blocking all the other fighters that are climbing the ladder. The ones that have made their statement. That's why I said there was an argument there with her and Felice. Felice is much lower ranked and she doesn't have anything going, but there's a short difference in between there. Felice is just pushing a year and 2 months, whereas Joanna's much longer, going on 2 years, almost 20 months. So she had to be taken out. And that elevates everybody else up. Y'all see Marina Rodriguez is number 3 now. And my poll I put up, I see some people, not a great deal of people, but some people think that Joanna deserves to stay. They don't think that she should have been taken out. So I mean, hey, that's everybody's opinion on that. I mean, she's out now, but I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised that some people don't agree with it. Because like I said, in any sport, if you've been out for almost 2 years, you have to make room for the people that are working. If you're not working, then it's like, what are you here for? I mean, her resume is still, okay, so she still is one of the best strawweight champions, right? But what is that if you haven't been proving that or even holding down the status in, the past 20 months? It's not really much to base that off of anymore. 2-4 in your last fights. Can't really go off of that. Let me see. Yeah, because I did a poll today. It reached 84%. yes, agree, and then 16% said no. And Gordon Morris, shout out to Gordon Morris. He posted his comment. He said he voted no because he said, I think they could have just moved her down below Carla to start with as a signal to Joanna. And if she turns down offers from Dana, she can just keep moving down a notch every time. She'll get the message at some point. I mean, I disagree with that because it's like, we're not going to waste your time. We're not going to waste our time moving you down. It's either you fight or you don't. You fight or you don't. You know, maybe we move you down to number 10, and then after that, you still don't fight. Then you make an exit. You know, that's what I think it comes down. Think it should come down to, just like it is. It's because she knows the message at this point. She knows what she's doing. So it's not about her, you know, being like, oh man, like, I can do whatever I want, and they're just being like, hey, Joanna, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you another chance. No, like, you just have to take a fight. It's just that simple. If you want to be number 2 and hold it down, fight the next person coming up. Fight the number 3 or 4 or 5. Just one of them. And then eventually maybe you can get that title shot again. That's all it means. But some people still living in the past, though, man. They still think that Joanna is the greatest fighter of all time. I mean, she's one of the best strawweights, but as far as, like, the status now, yeah, she's got the legacy. She got the legendary status now for the strawweight division she's in. But, I mean, there's other fighters that are of today. You know, Rose has the belt now. Weili is right there at number 1. Carla's in a better place after 7 years, on a 5-fight win streak. So there's just a lot going on that you can't ignore and just say, oh, Joanna's fine, she can stay here. Nah, you can't do that. But she did respond on her IG. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Joanna said this. Okay, wait a minute. Where is she? You've been in the game for a long time, so it's like somebody on her IG story said, Joanna, she's still number 1 to me, and they posted the mad emoji. Wow. I mean, you can't base this off of feelings, you know what I mean? I'm not basing it off of feelings. Like, I like Joanna's style. I like how she fights. She's a fun fighter to watch. But I also know there's other fighters that need to be where she is because they're still working. It has nothing to do with disliking her, you know? That's why I'm not going to keep saying, oh, you need to be number 1, or I'm pissed off. But I'm like, I'm not going to lie and say you need to be number 1 when you're 2 and 4. Because they know if somebody, like, let's say if Izzy lost his belt and Izzy continued to be number 2 for the next 2 years, people would be like, get him out. They'd be like, he don't deserve to be number 2 for 6 months. They'd be like, get him out of the rankings. But too many people are just saying, oh, she deserves to be that off. I'm looking at resume too, so I'm like, why y'all arguing with me? I got people I had somebody on Facebook, like, just talking out of his head. Like, this dude was saying she's the greatest of all time and she don't need to be taken out of the rankings. She's in a good place. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, what are you basing that off of? Your love for her, or are you basing it off the resume? Well, if definitely ain't basing it off the resume, I think we know what we're talking about here. We know we're talking about some weird people here, so I'm basing it off of what I've seen her do in a business. Because I'm looking right now and I'm like, okay, Joanna, let's see. All the way back to 2017, lost to Rose, then you lost to Rose again, beat Tisha Torres, lost to Shevchenko, you beat Michelle Waterson, then you beat Weili. That's a beat. No, you lost to Weili. You lost to Weili back in March of 2020, and then we haven't seen you for a minute. And okay, maybe she had to take the time off to clear the head. Maybe like physically, maybe there was something wrong. Maybe the concussion was bad, and I'm all for the time to heal. I just mean that nobody's rushing her to fight. I just think that if it's going to be that long, you have to be out of the rankings. You have to be out. If it's a medical leave, okay, we'll let you back in at some point, if you're good to go. Let me see. What did she say? Yeah, I saw this too. They said she may have been removed from the rankings, but she's staying sharp in the gym. Okay, that's good. Keep staying sharp. But I mean, we need to hear a fight. We need to hear a fight on the horizon, man. For real, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Like, staying sharp in the gym. Now, her, she just got her blue belt. Okay, let's get it, man. Like, just throw a name out there that you want to fight, aside from the title, and make something happen. I ain't gonna lie though, man. Carla messing around here and waiting. They might make Carla and Joanna fight. Especially with Carla having that reply back to Dana. I don't know, man. It's very much likely so. You never know how they play games, man. Get with Candy said, I'm not even a fan. These are just facts. She said JJ can sell fights. Big personality. She's rich and good with Dana. At this point, I don't think she really cares. No, she don't really. I mean, she really don't. I mean, it's based off of what you see, and I wouldn't either at this point. Because if your hunger is not there to get the belt the way you had before, and you don't want to take the damage, then why? Why do it? You make more money than most of these girls in the strawweight division, so why try to put yourself in there with lions when you're living more like when you're living that life more like just a house cat. You're no longer carrying that lioness in you no more. You're just living that life of a domestic cat, chilling. That's fine too. That's what you do it for. To find that time to chill out. I mean, she said she want to have kids one day, so it's not like you want to stay in there beating your body up for the rest of your life anyway. You're pretty much at an end game. You're pretty much at an end game now, so why continue to fight? And why are her fans arguing that too? They're still looking back at what she did 4 years ago, but that's 4 years ago. You wouldn't do that for other fighters, so it's just like, yo, why now? Robot Chicken said, how's for Herrig rank? I don't know. Yeah, she actually had to have 2 surgeries. Because off of her IG, she said one doctor messed her knee up. He didn't do the right job, so she had to go to another doctor and get it done. So, yeah, she should be out the rankings too, just to be safe, because medical issues, no offense, you just got to be taken out for a while. And yeah, Savage said Joanna was sitting there thinking she was keep getting that McGregor treatment. Yeah, you can't really. I mean, most of her money was made outside of the game, so I mean, she made good money with the UFC, but I mean, a lot of her money comes outside of the game. It's not like she's bringing in big dollars like McGregor. Like, McGregor's a superstar. Ronda Rousey's a superstar. Ronda Rousey probably could come back now and do some big numbers, so it all comes down to that as well, your superstar status. Like, you probably will play ball a little bit more with those fighters like McGregor and say, I got to keep them because they are keeping, part of the lights on, But somebody like Joanna, again, 2-4, you have to say, okay, what's the smart thing to do? Okay, let's just take her out of the rankings for now. And boom, Marina Rodriguez gets her wish, right? We all get our wish. And no offense. Joseph said, looks often decides media favorites. Media calls Valentina GOAT, although Valentina beat her 2 times. So race and looks matter. Valentina's white sweetheart terror for media. Amanda's ignored. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, for sure. Surprisingly, Valentina doesn't get like, surprisingly for, a white woman that's blonde, like Valentina doesn't get like the same shine as like Ronda Rousey or Rose did. But I know what you mean. Yeah, like Amanda's still pound for pound number one, no doubt. If you're going by stats and facts and not feelings, I'm going to still say Amanda is number one, no doubt. Amanda can't be ignored. And I got a video talking about that too, because Amanda Nunes, no, I saw that Joe Rogan clip where Nunes was talking about, Valentina was talking about Nunes's skills. She said it was more of the size that gave her the issue against Nunes, and not just skills. But I disagree, man. Nunes's skills and size played a factor. It was Nunes's skills that nullified and got the respect of Valentina still. It wasn't just size, because if it was just size, Valentina would have been able to make adjustments to a bigger fighter like she did Holly Holm, right? So, no, Nunes still had the skill. She had the size, but she still had the skill to make Valentina respect her. She still had the leg kicks. Valentina still knows she had the strength in the ground game that maybe she probably could have submitted her. So they had to respect each other. That's what it came down to. It wasn't just size in that fight. That's just me from the outside looking in. Like Valentina, it wasn't just size. It was size and skill. Because the good big fighter always beats the good little fighter. And if you're saying that Nunes is just a big fighter versus a good little fighter, then Valentina should have won both fights then, right? But no, Nunes is a good big fighter. That's why she won both of those fights. That's what it comes down to, right? Nunes, her skill is not the same. It's not as technically based as Valentina Shevchenko. It's more of it's hard to describe. Like Nunes has the gritty style, but it's educated. It's educated and it gets respect because she packs the power, and she's got a great ground game, and her hands are dangerous. She's very good at finding her pace and her rhythm in a fight. Like Nunes, I'll say this about Nunes is the fact that she's a great rhythm fighter. She established great rhythm now because of even the cardio issues in the past. So she knows how to fight at a good rhythm. It's like music to her. She knows how to hit them high notes and when to go up and when to go down, when to kind of let the song go. You know what I mean? Like she knows how to hit the bridge and then bring it back in. Like Nunes is smarter than a lot of people think. That's just bottom line. Like they don't want to give her credit for the same type of skills, but she's just as smart. And again, she is the number one fighter. She's just as skilled, even more so. You might favor this type of style more. You might like this type of defensive style more. But when it comes down to it, Nunes still is the number one. That's I just had to mention that. I got a video talking about that stuff, though. I mean, I'm just going off of facts again, man. Just off of facts. Because I love Valentina's style, but when it comes down to it, Nunes is still number one. Well, back in the day, I used to love Bernard Hopkins' style, but Roy Jones was number one. Roy Jones, number one boxer in the world. Whenever he got the win over Bernard back in the day. I mean, Bernard had one of the best skill sets in the game, bar none. And great technical style, great defense. But Roy was a better all-around athlete and faster, quicker boxer, entertaining. So, yeah. Yeah, I love Roy too, but I love Roy Jones too. But like I said, I don't base that off of anything when I'm looking at what I've seen. Savage said, I'm more of a Julia Avila fan than Joanna, but that still wouldn't give me the right to say that Avila deserves a title shot and other girls just because I'm in love with her striking. Oh, of course not. I mean, let's say if Julia Avila was number 2 or whatever she was at that point. You don't do that. Yeah. I mean, you ask her, talk to her fans, man, Joanna fans, boy. Joseph said, JJ expects to be gifted everything like Conor and Ronda. Yeah, you had a great pass, but you need to keep fighting and winning to stay on top. Yeah. Yeah, she's got one more fight on her contract. Get what Candy says. She wish Carla would call out JJ. We know that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen because, it all comes down to style matchups. And Joanna's a style nightmare for her. Title shot's going to be out of the way. Yeah, yes, that Savage. Yeah, man, you can't make her number 1. Like, the Eagles. You ain't been on the radio in years. It's like, how are you getting a Grammy? How are you number 1? Yeah, for some, yeah, yeah, Savage. Yeah, your facts and your feelings will be satisfied. Brian Williams said he got a dip. All right, we'll see. Yeah, we might be on, but let me pull up this fight while we wait. Robot Chicken says Nunes is number 1 ever since the Cyborg KO. True. That Cyborg fight was a highlight. Ulysses said Nunes is pound for pound number 1, and I'm a huge fan of Valentina. He said he's almost a simp for Valentina, but Nunes is still number 1. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if I was a fighter today, I probably would want that style of more based like Valentina. But I know who the best fighter in the world is. I just favor that type of style. I like watch both of them, honestly. Like, Robot Chicken said Julia Avila looks like a panda. What? That is her nickname. She probably wouldn't take that. Ain't that her nickname? She doesn't take offense to that, right? She looks like a panda. And nothing wrong with like a panda. Pandas are cute animals, so. Marcus Bell said Julia Avila has a big test in front of her. Yeah. Julia Avila, Carol Rosa, Macy Chiasson. That's kind of like my triple threat at bantamweight right now. Savage says, funny how Roy's fighting style was built so well to dominate early, and B-Hot works for dominating late in his career. Yeah, man. That's one thing I loved about it. Like, Savage, like Bernard Hopkins, it was longevity. You know what I mean? Like, the difference between Roy and Bernard, like, Roy's style was to get in and get out. You have to know when to retire. Like, Roy's style is based off of, athleticism and speed and reflexes, God-given stuff that is there in your prime. So you got to know how to get in and get out, which he didn't, sadly. But Bernard Hopkins, he got better throughout the years, never took as many damaging fights, never got knocked out like that because it was like a growing discipline. Just all around growing discipline, and that will take you far, man. Like, that's why I say, like, Valentina's style, if you look at the styles, Valentina's style will take her throughout the years. Even Nunes, possibly. Nunes carries a big equalizer and a great ground game. That's why it's still different than boxing. It's different than boxing. Like, Nunes could still fight on for a long time as well because she's going to get the respect with her hands and her ground game. Lita said B-Hop was knocked out of the ring. Yeah, that was the last fight in his career, though. That was when any fighter stays around here too long, but in his prime, that wouldn't have happened. That was his very last fight, so that was a fight he shouldn't have been in. But when you're talking about when he was in his 40s, already defying age, of course it's going to catch up to you when you're 50. But like when you're in your 40s, no, like he was still like very dominant at that point. Yeah, there's one more fight playing here. It's not the Silva fight though yet. So with that, yeah, Joanna's out of the rankings, and I mean it's nothing to be bent out of shape because I'm sure that the referee is going to I was looking at the fight, never mind the referee. I mean, I'm sure Dana White is definitely gonna welcome her back in at number 5 or number 6 when she accepts a fight. So she'll be back. I mean, so all those fans that are getting mad, she'll be back in there in no time. Or maybe not. Because, I mean, she seems to be doing well without fighting. So, to me, it'd be like, hey, do what you do. Oh, man. And Manone's in here now. I mean, what do y'all think, too? Like, I saw Stamina's comment earlier when he was talking to, who was he talking to? Robot Chicken? Who are y'all talking to? It said Manone doesn't need to be higher than Casey O'Neill. Well, I think Casey O'Neill. I'm just going off. Yeah, Robot Chicken and Stamina were saying that. Let's see, Manone shouldn't be ranked above Casey. Robot Chicken said, I think Manone definitely should. Beating Antonina doesn't hold that much weight. She's a far cry from her sister. Stamina said, what weight? Shevchenko isn't even a factor. Both have 3 UFC fights. O'Neal has 3 finishes. Firo has 2. But one of Firo's finishes was over overblown strawweight. So I'm not seeing how Manone has done amounts to more than what Casey has. Well, it's not much of a difference either. I mean, Robot Chicken said, yes, she has 3 finishes, but look at the level of competition. Procopio, Dobson, no longer with the UFC. I believe Myra's a tougher test than Casey fought. Yeah, I think Casey. I think Myra Buena Silva is a tougher fighter than all 3 of them put together. Like Procopio, Dobson, and Shevchenko. Myra Buena Silva is tougher than all of them. I think Myra Buena Silva beats Antonina Shevchenko. I think she beats Dobson and Procopio. And I can see Manone being over Casey, which is just 1 rank over. It's not like a big deal. I think she entered at number 14 based off of her dominance and her skill set. I think she deserves it too, man, because like they both came from UAE at the same time. The thing was, Manone was a much better fighter there, and she was a champion. And Casey O'Neill was on her undercards at times, or maybe like 1 undercard. But when it came down to it, Manone was the more established fighter. If you're basing it off of, okay, they're both 3-0. If you want to look at dominance and crowd-pleasing style and skills and technique, at that point, if you couldn't choose just off of the wins, I would throw those 3 factors in there. Crowd-pleasing style, technique, and the dominance factor. I got to go with Manon Firo. And also her resume. I think her resume is a little bit better. So, yeah, I'll go with her all day long. I mean, and like I said, it's not even like a big argument there. It's just 14 and 15. So when she came in at 14, I said, okay, that's where she needs to be. Casey still in development. It's good that she is number 15 and not higher because she needs to improve a little bit more than Manon Firo. So, now's not a time to really try to jump ahead because Manon Firo has the skill. She has the skill edge over Casey O'Neill when it comes down to it. And yes, Savage Manon beats Casey O'Neill. I mean, I'm just saying. I thought she would have beat her back in UAE. You know, when I seen them on the same card, I said, "Oh man, like Casey O'Neill is a flyweight," and I saw, okay, she's doing her thing. And I saw Manon, I was like, "Oh, Manon's getting a title shot here." I was like, "I wonder if they're gonna fight." But no, they never got to fight. They went straight to the UFC. Because I would have been like, "Oh, Manon would have beat her," I think. I think my ESPN must be behind because I'm not on that fight. I'm still on the second fight. What the heck? You know, Joseph said, Kayla, if she stays in PFL, she'll never be a GOAT. No, she won't. She's got to leave there. Uh-oh, so looks like Jan is winning, huh? Okay, yeah, I just refreshed. All right, we're going to watch this together while I'm on here because I'm done talking, I think. So let's see. Stamina said definitely not a cause for consternation. I care not one bit about Casey. I just figured they did go another way they did it. It's much of a muchness in the end. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought, you know, when Manon busted in at 14, I thought it was because of that last win, you know, regardless if it was a stoppage. Dang, Jan is wow. 5 seconds left in the round. Jan is putting a beating on Silva, huh? Ground and pound in open guard. Looks like a Jan round. Jan better not get. Oh, Jan is jacked, man. All right, so Jan looked like she won that round. I mean, I just walked in, so y'all tell me who won that last round, Jan or Silva? Jan's got a cut. Oh, she ain't gassed herself out with all that work. So who won that round? Jan carries a lot of muscle, so you know that might be some cardio problems there. Body shot from Jan. Robot Chicken said he gave that round to Silva. Okay. Cool hard leg kick from Silva. Jan. Jan's putting the pressure on with combinations. Okay, she's coming straight forward here. The exchange kicks. Ooh, hard front kick to the face from Silva. Silva using that range. She getting kicked to the body though. Ooh, hard right hand from Silva. Silva's throwing him right hands. Leg kick from Jan. Jan's coming in. Ooh, double leg from Silva. Okay, Jan's takedown defense is on point. She's gonna defend that takedown. All right, she's defending that takedown. Ooh, she's out. She's trying. Silva's trying to get it to the ground here. She's putting the pressure on. Jan's back to the cage. Silva trying to clinch up here, landing some knees to the body. All right, they separate. Front kick from Silva. She's over here fighting like Anderson Silva a little bit. Throwing out these long shots. Overhand right from Jan. Silva back in the clinch here. Those good knees to the body from Silva though. Body shots. Ooh, body shots from Jan. Right hand, left hand. Ooh. Was it she pulled guard like that? Silva just pulled guard. Ooh, she locking in the guillotine. Triple guard, she went flying. Ooh, tap. Ooh, Silva got it. Dang. That was a nice one, man. That was nice. Wow. That was a beautiful finish, man. She went straight up in the air with that pull guard on that. Damn. Pulled it down. Locked in that guillotine. All right, here's a replay. Look at that. Y'all trying to punch her way in. She locked the guillotine up right there. She went up, came down with it. It was right there. See, she said, boom. Oh my goodness. That was nice. Locked it in. She's got the guard closed. Look. She ain't going to choke it. Yeah, she was gassed. That was nice. Good fight. That was a good fight. I mean, I got to go back and look at the first round, but, I mean, what I was seeing, it was good. I got to look at the weight here because Silva was throwing some nice strikes in there. She had some nice moves. Is she going to be at 125? Oh, yeah. This fight was at 125. Uh-oh. We might have another addition to the flyweight division, man. What I was seeing, I liked her kicks and I liked her jabs. I like her long right hand, man. So she had some nice skills in there. That was a good fight. I mean, she was throwing them long shots, looking like Anderson Silva up in there, you know, with the long right hand and good power shots. She's a long fighter that looks like she knows how to use it too. So nice work, man. That was nice work in there. Robot Chicken said you gotta watch the fight before that guy got it. Oh man, I was looking at it a little bit, but I turned it off. But yeah, man, I'm about to roll out. You know, I'm gonna sit back and watch this fight. I'm gonna watch this card all the way through. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow. Maybe we'll call the PFL card. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, I'm gonna call the PFL. You know, the women's fights. The Clarissa fight and the Kayla fight, for however long they go. You know, we'll be on to do those tomorrow. But I'm gonna watch this fight again here, man. I'm gonna jump off of here and watch this. So yeah, again, my picks for tomorrow, I got Caitlin Young, Clarissa Shields, and Kayla Harrison. Was going to talk about Weili tonight, but I'll talk about Weili tomorrow. I've been watching her training, and I like what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? I like what I see from her. I think we're going to have a good fight, good rematch with Rose and Weili. So, yeah, let's get back on tomorrow, y'all. We will do the Clarissa fight and the Kayla fight. We'll do a round by round. So, yeah, join me tomorrow for whenever the card starts. When those fights start, I'll be on. So, yeah, just make sure y'all subscribe like always. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Combo Breaking 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.